Howdy folks, Dreadshells here, and welcome back to World of Tanks. And I got another WZ-131 game to show you guys here today. We are on Siegfried line Assault Defense. This map I really don't like on standard mode, simply because I think the field is very poorly designed to where it's basically a giant kill box for anyone that goes into E1, E2, E3, and F1, F2, F3. And it's really hard to outplay your opponents with vision in this area of the map, and you get shot from 3 or 4 different angles, from here, from here, from here, and from here, and it's very difficult to assault that part of the map, and basically makes half of the map irrelevant to play if the enemies are any good. So I'm not a huge fan of this map for standard mode. Assault mode, on the other hand, I think it's fairly okay. And as you guys can see here, we are in a tier 10 game. The WZ-131, as if you're using the 100 mil on this tank, doesn't do too bad when it gets into higher tier games, and doesn't suffer quite as much as other tier 7 scouts like the T-71 or the Bulldog or the AMX 1375 or any other tier 7 scouts like that, because it has a pretty good pen with its 100 mil. 181 millimeters, 181 millimeters of penetration with AP, and 241 millimeters of penetration with its APCR rounds, which is really good for a tier 7 scout. This tank also gets a choice of an 85 millimeter, which is also a really good gun. Has a lot better DPM, damage per minute, than the 100 millimeter, and has better aim time, I think, and some better soft stats, if I remember correctly. But I just off the top of the head, I'm not for sure on that. But anyway, this, as you guys can tell from the thumbnail of this video, this is about being in a bottom tier matchmaking and still being able to make a positive impact for your team. In fact, I've made a video specifically addressing that topic of. We all know that when you are mid-tier or top tier, generally you will have better games because your tank is more powerful, your armor counts for a lot more if you have armor, your speed and mobility and firepower count for a lot more because you can more easily penetrate targets and eliminate targets because of the HP pool of tanks versus your damage per minute and all that kind of stuff. But the question is, how do you have a positive impact when you're a bottom tier tank? And a lot of that has to come down to of just being a little bit of extra cautious, because you don't have a lot of hit points to play around with the alpha damage of tanks. Like basically, well, the Jagdpanzer E100 and the 183 can both one-shot me, and the Guerrilla 15 can take away most of my hit points with one shot. And the alpha damage and DPM of all the other tanks here can easily 2 or 3 shot me, so in very little time. So you need to be extra careful. And the other part of it is let the battle happen a little bit more to you rather than trying to push the tempo. Try to be a little bit more reactive and not as proactive, and generally you will do better when you are in a bottom tier tank. But that's enough rambling. Let's just get started with the game. And what I like to do here at the start of a game on Siegfried line assault, and when you're on the defending team, is I like to go across this this diagonal street that's slightly to the north of the center of the city here, and spot all the number 1 / north spawn opponents as they are crossing into whatever position that they are going to. Gave a little bit too much lead to the E50M, and didn't even hit him, unfortunately. And cresting a little high there to try and get some more spots, and we spot the Jagdpanther 2 there. And that Jagdpanther 2 is actually going to be a really big pain in the butt during the course of this battle. He's in a really good position. He's hulled down under that ridge line there in A3. The Jagdpanther 2, traditionally, it has okay armor, but it can be really trollish and really good if you can get it to positions like that where you can hide most of your hull, as the gun is mounted quite high into the superstructure of the chassis. and they only have to expose a little bit of their tank in order to get their gun on target and be able to have shots on you. So normally you wouldn't be able to play this pocket, this little knoll here behind this hill, this statically, because if there's any artillery in the battle, usually they will start to aim at you here. But because there's no artillery here, as long as I am watching the angles that I'm exposing myself to, I can sit here without worrying too much about getting shot at here. Some really poor situational awareness and bad driving there, and I bump into my Type 61 accidentally, so that was my bad. Messing up his shot and all that stuff. The enemy pushed fairly aggressively into the center of the town here, so I'm relocating here, seeing if I can try to get shots on them. But I'm sitting a little bit too low down here. If you want to shoot tanks that are sitting up there in that street, and if they start crossing, you need to be sitting a little bit further to the west, where my PTA is, Leopard PTA. But I've gotten sick and tired of waiting for the enemy to expose themselves, so I decided to come over here, give a little bit too much lead to the 183, and my shot, of course, goes high and left, so I missed the 183 completely. And unfortunately, not able to help kill him. But our Jägtiger survives, and the 183 dies. Now we see here that the WZ-120 is crossing the mid-street, so putting a shot into him as he crosses. And this is the part where I'm talking about being more reactive in battles where you're bottom tier. Not even gonna bother shooting at the VK-4502B. Tried to sneak a shell into the lower plate of the Liberté, but that was a waste of a shot because the Liberté's lower plate isn't really a weak spot either, so it's kind of a waste of a shot that I took there. Doing a little bit of peeking here, trying to see if I can respot the enemy and to see if they're turned a little bit. Maybe I'll have a better shot at them, but as you guys can see there's a couple bushes and a tree there that actually block your line of sight from this angle, so that's a little unfortunate. But back to what I was talking about, being more reactive and not as proactive when you're bottom tier, and on maps that aren't specifically known for being good for soft armor platforms and for scouts, like a Siegfried line, is basically wait for the enemy to make the move and support your teammates however you can here. And in just a little bit here, I'm going to be doing a lot of good work with my T-57 teammate up there to my right there. Waiting to see if this E-50M will reverse, as our T-57 Heavy has been pumping his clip into the E-50M. But now it's clear that the E-50M isn't going to be backing off, and he's actually attacking our T-57 now, now that he thinks that our T-57 is reloading. And we put a shot of damage into the E-50M, and maybe our T-57 was reloading, and he reloaded again, or maybe he still had a shot. Either way, he was able to secure the kill on the E-50M. Now the T-57 does a great job of pushing up to the front and start engaging the enemy frontally. Great job there, doing his job as a heavy, getting up in the face of the enemy and taking the hits. Realize that I'm exposing myself to the Jägpanzer E100 and shift over to the other side of the street so he doesn't have a shot of me. And the Tortoise very kindly starts pushing into the T-57 and allows me to get it to come from the Jägpanzer E100 even better. And we're able to put our final shell into the Tortoise and light him on fire, which is able to keep our T-57 alive, as our T-57 has ended up only being a one-shot after that entire sequence of engagement with the Liberté and the Tortoise, and he lost most of his hit points. And the Centurion, I unwittingly... I'll pause the game there real quick. I unwittingly just juked the Gorilla 15. When I cross this gap here, I see if I can go into free cam to show you guys better. There we go. I didn't want to cross back this way, the way I was going to go, and go up this street, because I thought maybe the Centurion 7-1 might have a shot on me. So I paused here for a moment. It turns out that he probably didn't have a shot on me anyway here from how the angle works, but I wasn't aware of it at the time. So I stopped because I was worried that he was going to shoot me. And because I stopped, the Guerrilla 15 that was shooting down this 7-line street here missed me, which was really funny. So I unwittingly avoided a shot from the Guerrilla 15 when I was trying to avoid a shot from the Centurion 7-1, and was able to avoid taking a lot of damage from him, so that was really funny. Trying to see if I had shots on the Guerrilla 15 for return fire, but he had reversed back into cover. We're up by a tank, but we're not doing too well as far as our positioning is concerned and as our hit points are concerned. And there we go, the enemy T-54 just took out our one-shot T-57 Heavy. And as you can see, we're all boxed in and surrounded here on the 9 line and on the 0 line. And when you are starting to get surrounded like this in situations like this, the best thing that you can do is push out in one direction. Preferably push out where the enemy is weakest, but push out in one direction and kill that opponent so that you're not being attacked from 2 or 3 different directions. And that way you can focus on one group of enemies at a time and not have both of them being shooting at you. Really bad shot there on the T-49, should have taken my time. Unfortunately, get shot there by the Centurion. I'm going to pause the game there. I was about to shoot the Centurion 7-1 there as he was driving around the corner, right? And I had a side shot on him. Even though these stairs here are in the kind of the way, I clearly had a shot on him, right? When you guys saw the outline of his tank. But as I was about to pull the trigger, I saw out of the corner of my eye on the minimap here this T-49 going for me, so I held my shot. If I had shot the Centurion 7-1, I would have been reloading, and the T-49 would have been able to drive around here and shoot me for free, and potentially have easily one-shot me with his 152mm, and then that would have been the end of the game for me. But I held my shot and waited, and because he was a one-shot, I was able to kill him before he got his gun on me, and I was able to stay in the fight. Now it looks like the Centurion 7-1 has backed off and leaves me free to cross here. There's this little gap right here that you can use just on the south side of the town, the south buildings area, that you can peek up over and shoot the enemies that are sitting there, or maybe further back. Just a little spot that you can use sometimes. Kind of like similar to the spot that I just crossed there on the right that a lot of people know in E8 as well. And I somehow bounce off the gorilla. Now I actually went back and I rewatched this replay and I watched it in slow-mo, and it looks like my shell hit his gun, so that is unfortunate. Unfortunately, that also means that I am not able to secure the kill on him, which will make it a lot harder to earn a certain medal. Now it's just cleanup mode. Our Jagdpanzer E-100 kills our Guerrilla 15, unfortunately, but now because he's just fired, we're free to shoot him. Our SU-101, for some weird reason, thought it was a really good idea to ram a Jagdpanzer E-100. Not sure why. So he gave the Jagdpanzer E-100 another kill for free, unfortunately. And I'm not able to secure the kill on the Jagdpanzer E-100 either, which unfortunately means because of me bouncing off the gorilla, my shot going high because of me auto-aiming, which shows that I should have manually aimed at the gorilla, and that way I would have gotten killed. That means I did not earn an Orlix medal in this game, unfortunately. I had killed the tortoise with the T-57, so and I was on the run to potentially earning an Orlix battle in this game, but it just wasn't to be. But it was a really good result considering that we were bottom tier in a tier 10 game in our WZ-131 and considering what map we were on. Siegfried line isn't known for being the best map for scout tanks. I don't mind this map as much on assault offense or assault defense as I do on standard mode, like I said at the start of the video. Standard mode, I think Wargaming needs to potentially think about redoing this map, because when half of a map is not tactically viable to play up until from early battle till mid battle, then I don't think it's a very good map design. So but who knows, maybe they'll think about it in the future. But we were able to get a really good statistical results, and a lot of that came down to us just being patient, keeping our head down, hiding. Hiding isn't always the bad thing to do. Sometimes it's the good thing to do. Let your top tier teammates engage the enemy, and then support them as much as you can. If they're getting shot by the enemy, make the enemy get shot by 2 tanks or 3 tanks every time they try to shoot one of your teammates, and in that way the enemy will pay for trying to attack and trying to destroy your teammates' tanks. And that's just the basic fundamental principle. Be a little bit more reactive and not as proactive on when you're bottom tier, or if you're on maps that aren't good for scouts. But anyway, I'm repeating myself. I wish you guys the best of luck out there in your games on Siegfried line, or if you're bottom tier, happy hunting and take care.